apartment building in Brooklyn, New York. The sound of the elevated trains roared to the open windows at night. In the bathroom was the toilet with a huge tank above that held the water, a long chain that hung down to pull when you wanted to flush. Rosalind's mom always said that Rosie got potty trained so fast. Even so, Rosie still wanted someone to come to the bathroom with her, hold her hand as she sat on the toilet. She was scared of the tank. She said it sounded like a continuous thunder over her and felt like rocks were going to drop down on her head. Chapter 2. Family and Friend Fun at age 13. As a child, Rosie loved her parents very much. Her father was like a big teddy bear, so loving and sweet. He was not around very much, but when he was, he would never punish them. Her mother was also very loving, but very stern as well. Rosie learned quickly that her mother was the boss. Her mother believed that Rosalind could do anything. Rosie thought she was smarter than her parents. Rosalind's mother thought that Rosie was very responsible, so she was put in charge of doing some of the family laundry, which they did in the bathtub, cleaning and ironing. Rosie would also cook the chopped vegetables because her mother would get home so late from work that it was past dinner time. Babysitting was also a large part of Rosalind's life because she wanted to make some money. One of the boys she babysat lived in her building. He was a year older than her and quite the bully. He would follow Rosie down the street yelling in Yiddish, "Rosalind has a fat butt." It would make her cry because even though not everyone spoke Yiddish, lots of people did. Because her family lived on the third floor, they were not allowed to have pets, so they got goldfish. But at one point or another, all the fish would just die. Occasionally, her brother would bring home a lizard or other small animal and make a pet out of it until something happened. Rosalind's family was Jewish, and they followed many of the traditions. Hanukkah was Rosie's favorite holiday because the food was so delicious, and the kids would get a small gift as well. For a poor family, the gift was usually a handmade dress by her mother or a second-hand book. Rosie loved to read. Home life was very simple because they had neither car nor phone, and they made everything by hand. She and her friends played outdoors a lot more than we do nowadays, and they listened to the radio a lot too. She had a secret life with her friends. They would go sledding, jump rope, play Scrabble, and play jacks, all by themselves. Girls during 1942 were not involved in basketball, volleyball, or other sports we have nowadays. One time in the winter, her friends were sledding in an empty lot. The hills were very steep, so they reached the bottom before they knew it. When Rosalind was 8 or 9, she slid down the hill and smashed her nose into the wall. They would also play a game where they would throw a ball at the apartment outside stairs, and whichever stair they hit was the point they scored. Rosalind would also act out fairy tales with her friends, but everyone wanted to be the prince, princess, or king. And when a person chose to be the villain, that child would not want to be any character less important. Rosalind also went many places by herself, such as the subway and other people's homes. For the most part, being on the subway alone was not scary, but at night it did at times get a little sketchy. Around 6th grade, Rosalind started to write poetry because she was inspired by a great teacher named Mr. Cohen. Mr. Cohen would invite a small group of students to his house for cocoa, cookies, and poetry reading. Rosalind wanted to become an actor, writer, or scientist. She also loved to dance, but it was only for fun. She performed in dance recitals, and when she danced well, it was a great triumph for her. Rosalind always wanted to do very well in school, even though she did not try very hard. At the start of every year, the school would weigh the children for physical education. At age 13 or 14, Rosalind reached her full height. When she stood on the scale, the teacher who was weighing her said, "Wow, you're getting to be a big one, aren't you?" That was very humiliating for Rosalind. It was in front of the whole entire class, a very large class at that. In conclusion, I would like to share with you a poem I have written called Somewhere in the Middle. Big town, the constant hustle and bustle, New York City, subways rumbling like a rock slide that stops immediately at moment's notice, people chatting on their phones as if there is no tomorrow. Being alone seems scary to me now, like she was not. A different time, a different place. Small town, Bozeman, Montana. Its quiet streets. My friends and I flying on the trampoline, no fear in the world. On the ski bus, jamming out to music, not afraid to be alone here. On the slopes, racing through the trees, 2 different lives, still we connect through similar interests. Dance, science, poetry. They thrive somewhere in the